So today we have a special guest. This is my mom. And one day I will have her on here with, I think for my pregnancy vlogs, but today we're actually going to be talking about her book. And it is called
Laffite and the Curse of the Golden Bayou.
And she wrote this, let's see, how long ago did you write this?
Let's see, 2000, I have to look, 2005, I believe, was when, 2007, yeah, 2007. But I had several years I was working on it, so.
Okay, well that's another question. How long were you working?
It took me 7 years to write it.
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had a lot of kids interrupting during that time.
Oh man, that's what I was going to say too, is how did you find time?
Well, I had to lock myself in my bedroom and work like 8 hours a day in order to get it done. And the kids would be pounding on the door trying to get in, and my husband would sit, and your dad would sit and run interference for me, and that was the only way I got it done. I just had to be determined to get it done. But there was some dry spells there.
Okay, well, in your own words, can you describe what the book is about?
Oh, 30 seconds. Okay. Well, imagine finding a pirate that you were related to, and there was a family curse involved, and in order to save your family, you had to go into an alternate world hidden in the bayou. And once you got there, the idea was that you have to find a treasure or else your family will be forever cursed.
Ew. Well, that's exciting. Here's another question. Which character do you think you identify best with?
Oh, that would be really hard to say. Yes.
We got a good question.
You stumped me. I think Kate, the mom, is like my alter ego. I want to be like her because she's really strong-willed, and she, even though she's a very small individual, frame-wise, she's extremely strong character, and she knows what she wants out of life, and she's gonna save her children and protect them no matter what. And that's a part of me too. I have to admit.
I was gonna say that sounds like you to me.
But she's a lot stronger in her character than I am in my real life. So.
Okay. Do you have a favorite character other than that?
Yes, I do, and I don't want to offend any of the other characters, but
I think they'll be okay. You can make them be okay,
I don't
right?
know. It's like when you're writing, they kind of come to life, I love Sam. He is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Sam is the caretaker of Maison Rouge, this place where the pirate lived and where the family comes and finds out about all this stuff. And Sam is over 200 years old, and he has such wisdom. He is African, and he came to America as a slave, and he went through all of that hardship and had to overcome it. And he's just the wisest person, but he has that southern accent of the deep Mississippi, someone that Samuel Clemens would love,
Okay.
Mark Twain.
Can you give us an example of that?
Let's see. He
Accent?
says, Sam says in one place, that boy's so proud of himself, he thinks the sun done come up just to see himself, or he thinks the sun just come up so that he can crow. And that's the kind of personality Sam has. He's got this wise, down home, just pure wisdom within him, and I love that character. I always wait for Sam to come next in the book because I know he's going to say some wise thing that everybody loves. So.
Cool. He kind of reminds me, and I did read some of the book, but it's been a long time, of Uncle Remus.
Yeah,
A little bit.
He's a lot like that. Yeah, and there's just a cultural thing there that I fell in love with as I'm writing his character, because he's an amazing person and has overcome so much, and I think that's what makes his character so rich.
Cool. when did you first decide that you wanted to write a book?
Oh my goodness, I had been in a business venture that kind of went south, and I was telling a friend about it one day, and as I was talking about it, she said, you know, you should do something else, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, what could I do? I really want to do something fun, and I wanted to include the family somehow. And so I started thinking, and that's when I started to write this story. And originally, it was kind of like Brer Bear and Brer Rabbit and those kind of things, and that just got thrown out completely. Because as the story evolved, I watched something happen that just amazed me. It went from being a story for 4-year-olds to being a story for adults and teenagers, and you know, this age range of 10 years old and up, and it encompassed an adventure of a proportion I never expected to have happen, with an imagination and things that just slowly came out. And the coolest thing to me was I started writing about this pirate, and as I was writing about him, I thought, well, you know, this is a pretty cool pirate. He lives in America, and he's trying to help America, and I thought, maybe I better research a little bit. And I started to research, and all of a sudden I discovered a real pirate that had lived here in America that had actually been doing some of the things I was writing about. And it blew me away. I was so surprised. And his name was Laffite, Jean Laffite. And to me, this man is an American hero because of all the things that he did for America during the Battle of 1812. If it wasn't for him, you know, our country would have been in a different situation. And he was really, truly an American hero and a patriot in many ways. He loved America, and he believed, because he was working under a letter of marque from Cartagena, which means he had a paper, a document that said he had the right to patrol these American waters and protect, you know, the coastline. And he often would split what he got with America. He would take a list of what he got, and he would send it in and let the government know, yeah, these are the goods that I got. And actually, because of him, the area that was in Louisiana Purchase, Louisiana, was able to grow fast, and it was able to become wealthy and all of these things. And you know, there was aspects of his life that I didn't agree with, the slave trade, of course, and things like that. But he did do some very good things for America, and he's a very mysterious person.
Mysterious, kind of above the law.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And just a good guy. So.
Yeah, and he was very charismatic. All the women loved him. He was always invited to these balls and dances and any public event. But boy, the governor of Louisiana hated him and really tried to destroy him. And just to tell you what he was like, at one point the governor put out a wanted poster for him, basically saying $500 for the reward for bringing in Jean Laffite. And Jean Laffite turned around and he put a poster up overnight that said $1,500 reward for the governor. You know? And then he'd go strutting through town with his hat and everything, and everybody knew who he was, and he had such an interesting personality.
Mm-hmm. So that's a really good character to have in this book. I always love those videos or books that have a main character who's very intelligent and good looking.
Oh yeah.
And just has a charm about them, but they're also, you know, just quick-witted, and they are kind of above the law, and they always, it's like they help people by breaking the law in a way.
Yeah, a Robin Hood kind of character.
Really.
And really that's what he was in a lot of ways. That's
Still
what he was,
very
an American Robin Hood. Yeah. He's a good guy, though, I think, you know, in many ways. Other than like I said, there was a few character flaws there, but, you know, every character has to have a few flaws. They can't be perfect.
Do you feel like you were inspired in any of this, in what you wrote?
Oh, yes. As I wrote this, I was extremely... I was looking for help from beyond, you know, from what I call God. And I do feel like I had assistance as I was writing. In fact, there was moments that were actually quite fun when I felt inspired things to write. And, without going into a lot of detail, I'll just say you hear of muses, Greek muses that, can come in and help people. And I've thought, I want to write a book called Amused, of all of the people that I think, added a little bit of their, help for me, like I would love to say that Walt Disney helped me, and I would love to say that Samuel Clemens helped me as I was writing Sam, and other ones like J.R.R. Tolkien or C.S. Lewis, or, and I personally, I think that their energy was a big part of what I wrote because of the things that they did ahead of time and the inspiration that they were to me. Mm-hmm. I love the things that they've done, the things that they've created in their lifetimes. Mm-hmm. And so yes, I do feel like I had some help.
So in a way, would you say that this book is a combination of all of those authors' intelligence and excitement,
their ethereal influence floating through the air?
So if you can imagine the coolest book ever, that's what this is.
It is.
Okay.
Coolbook.com. I'm just kidding.
So I've heard something about a secret code.
Yes, there is a secret code in the book. I don't know if I can show it to you. Okay. Well, I don't know if you can see that or not. Up close. There's little letters that are underlined and emboldened, and basically, if you start right from the beginning, keeping track of every one of those, on the last page of the book, it tells you how to decipher it. And basically, I've had a few readers that have done it, and they find it quite interesting because it actually gives you more hints as to where the curse came from and why it's there and the influence that this curse has had on all these people down through time. And it's called a visionaire cipher. And in order for you to decipher it, you have to have a secret phrase or a secret word. And that is on the last page of the book.
So have you ever experienced writer's block with this book?
Yes. There was a few times where I was really concerned as to how it was all going to come together. Mm-hmm. And I took a little bit of time and I did some thinking and I just thought, okay, I really have to have certain things come together. And that's when I literally turned to prayer, mm-hmm. And I was amazed at how it came together. I really was. And how all of the there's a lot of little subplots in the book. And at that point, for me, it was like a spider web, being built all over the place. And I was like,
is this going
to ever come together? And it did. I was surprised, but it really came together in a really amazing way in the end. Mm-hmm. And it even surprised me as the writer. Wow. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe how that worked out. But yeah, I did have writer's block, and I still do at times, because I'm working on the second book right now. And yes, that writer's block does come up, and yes, I write in chunks. I'll write for a while, and I would love to sit down and be able to just write just straight through, but you have a life. You have to mm-hmm. live along the way. You have a family, and those things are part of it. And I don't like to call them interruptions because they're wonderful things. But yes, I'm a mom, and I do have my issues at times.
9 kids, by the way.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? I have lots of brothers and sisters.
Yeah. And I warn the kids too, they better do well in school because I got an F in English, and this is my penance. I tell them if they don't get good grades, they're going to have to write a book.
Oh, I might have to write a book someday. All right, so here's the main question: where can we get it? Where can we get this book?
So the book is available on Amazon. We only did a limited number, only 150 of the original hardcovers. And because of that, they're collector's items at this point. And so the soft cover, is on Amazon.com. You can go there, you can get it, and basically they ship it right to you, and it's a good place to get it. And I think people are going to enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, go to Amazon. Here's the link. You can check it out. How much was it? Does it matter?
1995.
All right, 1995. For the book Laffite and the Curse of the Golden Bayou. And this is my mom, and she's awesome, and this is an amazing book. It really is. It's got an amazing story. It's got good characters, so check it out.
Thanks.
Also, if you want to check out part 2 of this awesome interview, I would click on this link right here. This is my family channel, me and my husband's family channel. So go ahead and click on it and you can see part 2.